11 p.m. on a Wednesday in Los Angeles. A stroller parked outside a fine cuisine restaurant on the east side of town. A toddler strapped in, half asleep, forehead beating up because nobody remembered his jacket. His mother standing at the curb, phone pressed to her ear, voice shaking. And somewhere down the block, a blacked-out SUV is rolling away. The man she flew across the country to see. On the way out telling her in plain English that her views weren't numbering today. All right, I'm going to say what half of you are thinking. Then I'm going to say what the other half missed. Stay with me. What Blueface's own stream caught on camera inside that restaurant is the receipt nobody's audited yet. Hit subscribe right now. Flip that bell. We'll get into it. Before we go deeper into the lane, the boys. The restaurant itself sits in the eastern corridor of Los Angeles, off a stretch where valet signs and warm-lit awnings stack on top of each other like they're competing. According to the receipts we walked through later, the order wasn't huge. Chicken Caesar, a Shirley Temple, Parmesan chicken. But the protocol was. The reservation reportedly had a staff list, a driver, a homie, a number 3, staffer Blueface referred to by roll number, a number 1 security figure. That isn't a date night. That's a production crew on a low-key unit shoot. Keep that in mind when the man later defends himself by saying he was just keeping his peace. A man keeping his peace doesn't run a 4-man container on a Wednesday valet. Now the calendar underneath the people in those seats, because Wednesday wasn't chosen randomly. August 13th, 2026 sits roughly 9 months to the week after Blueface walked out of California State Prison on November 3rd, 2025, according to Complex's own reporting by Jaylani Turner-Williams, who covered the DDG reunion livestream. The rapper walked into the same week of his release. 9 months. That's a defined release window. That's the period where the algorithm starts measuring whether you're still a unit or whether you're spent. By every metric the industry reads off a returning artist, that window is do or die. Streams, content cadence, brand recoupling, family court optics, every clock inside the period is running. Blueface served 21 months on the probation violation, according to BCK Online's Parenting Recap published November 6, 2025. The underlying felony? Complex frames it as the 2022 Las Vegas incident at the Euphoric Gentlemen's Club, where the rapper was reportedly charged with attempted murder after a bullet grazed the victim, Kentavious Trailer. In his left hand, his trailer attempted to drive away from the venue with Blueface and his entourage reportedly following behind. Charges were reportedly reduced to battery and firing a gun at or into a building that was occupied. A plea deal reportedly followed, with a 3-year probationary period and a suspended 2 to 5 year prison sentence attached. Complex also reportedly cites a $13 million damages order against Blueface in favor of the strip club. That's the debt he walked back onto the street with on November 3rd, 2025. He publicly apologized to Trailer during the DDG-powered Homecoming livestream. "I'm sorry, brother. I didn't mean to shoot you, bro. If you seeing this, forgive me, man. This is true apology." That apology is on tape. It is part of the post-release asset portfolio now. And it is one of the reasons the Wednesday stream matters. Prior apologies, prior catch-up cycles, prior apologies that turned into custody traffic. They've all been documented. The DDG room was the soft launch. The Wednesday restaurant was the reload. So when Wednesday's collapse hit, it wasn't the first recalibration event of the post-release era. It was the third or fourth, depending on who you ask. And the structure was reportedly the same. Mount a family content cycle, surface a contradiction, blow the contradiction into a clip, monetize the clip into a substream, run a subtle league merge via WAC 100 or Carlice's interviews, repatch before the memory cools. We've seen this loop before. We just haven't seen it audited. I'll get into that loop in a minute. First, the receipts on the night itself. Every word we pull is reportedly off Blueface stream, and the camera owner is Blueface. The day was August 13th, 2026. Blueface, born Jonathan Jamal Porter, reportedly flew Chrisean Rock out to Los Angeles for a family day with their toddler. Chrisean Jr. crew included his longtime driver known as Tusky and several homies. They got seats at Dodger Stadium, watched the Los Angeles Dodgers put up 2 home runs against the visiting Milwaukee Brewers. By dinner, what started as a reunion had reportedly folded into a live stream shouting match. Blueface told a server to cut her stream. Rock allegedly grabbed his camera. Within 10 minutes, he had her dismissed from the table. He peeled off with the rest of the crew. She was left on the sidewalk with the stroller. At least according to the camera roll, Blueface himself kept rolling the whole time. Now the receipts. These come straight off Blueface's own stream. These are his words, captured by the camera he never wanted her near. First beat, the sentencing. 3-strike rule in effect, chat. 3-strike rule. She struck out. First was the grabbing my phone, turning the music off, demanding that we listen to something else. Second strike, jabbing me in my face. Third strike, you grabbing my camera. The clip circulated across TikTok, Instagram, and Live Bites within roughly a day of the incident. Alright, pause. That math doesn't hold up on the usual reading either. Strike 1 is reportedly a music pause. A pause. Not a delete, not a download swap, not a, I'm going to hijack your creative for the next 6 hours. A pause. Strike 2 is reportedly a face jab that allegedly happened hours earlier outside a Burberry store and that Blue himself reportedly described on stream as play boxing, while Rock reportedly said it didn't happen the way he described. Strike 3 is the camera. And even there, the publicly available captures reportedly show the rig reportedly being carried by somebody else, with Rock's hand reportedly shown reaching across the table rather than smashing anything to the floor. Listen to the loudest defenders of the speech again. He was just keeping his peace. That is a man keeping his peace with a stopwatch. That is a man keeping his peace with strike 1 reported at a volume of 0. The arguments break down the moment you compare the speech to the footage, and we're going to compare them, because that breakdown is the receipts, and the receipts are the entire reason we're here. Keep walking. Second beat, the reason he gave for ending it, allegedly. I wasted my money. I could have spent that on somebody that would have been much more appreciative, much more happy, much more thankful. You coming, you turning the music off, you saying what you don't want to listen to, you grabbing the camera. Like you think you're a man or something. You're not a man. You're the weakest man. Okay, that's a lot. I'm going to set it down for a second. Third beat, same stream. The dismissal, reportedly. We didn't let you have your way all day. Number 1, take her out of here. Go home. Go on. Go on. He paused, then came back with, you're dismissed. We had a good time. You're dismissed. If she touches that camera, it's your fault. A security figure Blueface referred to as number 1 allegedly walked Rock to the curb. She called him from the sidewalk. He picked up. Fourth beat, Chrisean's response, reportedly on her own live stream from a hotel room afterward. I was not plotting to leave. I was not plotting to leave. I just don't want it to escalate. I was just literally writing to God like, Lord God, I don't know what's going on currently. Please take control of the moment. 'Cause I really had no control of the moment. There's a particular pattern to how Rock responds when she lands alone on a hotel floor with the kid in a playpen and the camera in her hand. The cadence is reportedly, deny intent, deny plotting, then pivot to prayer. The prayer reportedly becomes its own clip. The clip reportedly becomes engagement asset. There's an entire dance here where the personal and the algorithmic move in lockstep, and both halves of the dance deny the other half is happening. Reportedly, you can see the seams. Reportedly, the seams are how we know the dance is choreographed. 5 beat. Blueface's own algorithm confession on the same stream, while she was still reportedly on the phone. Look at her stream numbers and go look at anyone else's. I don't got to look at mine. We ain't had 12K people in the chat one time today until you left. You're not that. You're a regular. You haven't had 12K in your stream ever. That one is going to need its own paragraph. 6 beat, quieter, more interesting. Reported right before he left. Blueface referenced an older prison phone call allegedly captured on a different Blue and Rock show. I ain't never heard no female tell me, I'm not a streamer. What you doing here then? That's like me being in a studio saying I'm not a rapper. That line, sandwiched between the dismissals, wasn't about the music or the camera at all. It was about Rock reportedly telling him, somewhere off camera, that she didn't want to do her 24-hour stream collab. He filed it and pulled it back out on stream. That's the tell. Okay, let's sit with beat 5 again, because beat 5 is allegedly where the whole night collapses into a single sentence. We ain't had 12K people in the chat one time today until you left. This is allegedly a man, on his own stream, telling a live audience that the breakup of his family was reportedly framed by a viewer count metric. He's reportedly telling the chat that his ex's stream was reportedly the engine of his day. He's reportedly telling the chat that his own stream was reportedly not doing numbers, and then reportedly saying he doesn't have to check his. Put that on its head. The most embarrassing line in the entire night isn't, "You're the weakest man." It isn't, "You're dismissed." It is reportedly the one where he admits the algorithm, not the relationship, was reportedly the tiebreaker. That's reportedly the receipt. Stroller on the sidewalk, toddler dozing, mother dialing into a phone that reportedly won't change her mind, and a man inside the restaurant reportedly describing all of it in the dialect of a productivity tool. Now connect. Sequence. The day started harmless, publicly. A family outing. The Dodgers, 2 homers, a Brewers fan tossing them a ball. The first documented crack was reportedly inside the car on the way to dinner. Rock reportedly reached over and paused a song on Blueface's phone, asking the car to listen to something else. Blue didn't say anything. That was the in-car moment, the one he later labeled strike one. They walked inside together. Order placed, chicken Caesar, a Shirley Temple, Parmesan chicken, reportedly. Rock stepped out to use the restroom. When she came back, the camera was reportedly back up. Blue allegedly told the number 3 staffer to end Rock's stream. Her own continued running anyway. Then the verbal escalation. Then, reportedly, she grabbed his $5,000 camera rig off the table. That figure is Blueface's own figure, repeated on stream. That is reportedly what tipped strike 3. Then the "we are not catering" speech. Multiple variations posted across the timeline. Then the dismissal, reportedly. She stepped outside. The crew reportedly walked back to the car. They drove off. Now hold on. Back up. Because what gets buried in the recap is the calendar collision underneath this entire afternoon. Blueface was released from California State Prison roughly 9 months ago, after serving 21 months on a probation violation reportedly tied to the 2022 Las Vegas incident. He publicly apologized to the victim during a homecoming livestream with DDG, according to Complex post-release coverage. 9 months of catch-up time. Family court backdrop. Jaden Alexis, mother of his 2 older kids, publicly accused Rock of threatening her weeks after release, dropping "I never asked him or nobody for money" into an X post, calling Rock envious, and reportedly adding she did not want her children around, an incompetent person, without her consent or presence. Rock fired back, reportedly, that she came to the family arcade only so their son could see his dad. Theirs was no real interaction with anyone, TBH. Whack 100 has reportedly been running court custody rhetoric on Clubhouse. Carlisa, Blue's mom, has weighed in separately. And in the background, Nevaeh Akira, the reportedly pregnant other girlfriend, has been a running side thread with the Blues Fish and Soul storefront always sitting in the corner of the receipts. So if you're counting baby mama lanes, we're now up to 3 active co-parent scripts in roughly 14 months. Jaden Alexis, Chrisean Rock, Nevaeh Akira. And the kid in the stroller outside that restaurant is reportedly the quiet center of all 3. That's the calendar underneath the chicken Caesar order. That's the thing nobody is zooming out on. Zoom in on fragments. Audio forensics first. The alleged spark, the song pause. Multiple captures of the same line, consistent transcript. Rock reportedly paused Blue's phone mid-track. The argument that "snatched my phone" was reported by Blue alone. The music pause itself was acknowledged on stream later by Rock. She reportedly admitted that the song thing bothered her and that she shouldn't have grabbed the phone. Reportedly the only thing in the dispute where both adults landed on the same beat. Visual forensics second. The $5,000 camera grab. The clip has reportedly circulated in vertical 9:16 cutdowns on TikTok and Instagram. In every publicly visible cut, the camera was reportedly being carried by somebody else. A staffer holding the rig. Rock's hand, in the wider cam captures, is reportedly shown reaching across the table. She did not throw it. There's a difference between grabbing it to stop the stream and smashing it on the floor. Blue reportedly framed it as both. Behavioral forensics third. The 3 strikes math. Strike 1 is a music pause. Strike 2 is reportedly a face jab outside a Burberry store earlier that day. Neither side has confirmed exactly what happened on camera. Blue described it on stream as play boxing. Rock reportedly said it didn't happen the way he described. Strike 3 is the camera. He's reportedly pricing it like a point system at the DMV. He's not describing it as a relationship anymore. He's describing it like a customer service scorecard. Listen, allegedly, to his own stream. I wasted my money. I spent my money. I don't like your customer service skills. Forensics on the algorithm claim, fourth. Blueface's main argument for reportedly dismissing Rock was reportedly that her stream viewership that day maxed out around 10,000 concurrent. He reportedly said the chat didn't break 11K until she was dismissed. He reportedly did not offer his own stream's numbers for the same window. He reportedly deflected instead with, I don't gotta look at mine. If you're watching a public breakdown where one side is reportedly averaging 10K live concurrent and the other side won't say his own number, that's the lens. Money, viewership, customer service. That's reportedly the actual argument, not the music. Now look at how the press framed this across the last 48 hours. Take Hot New Hip Hop. Their headline went soft relationship. Blueface and Chrisean Rock blast each other while breaking up again. That's a Vibes headline. Rock and Blueface as a couple in disagreement. Both loud, both wrong. The article cites live bites and reportedly leaves the analysis at fans wouldn't be surprised if they pop out tonight like nothing happened. That's a relationship cycle take. Take Complex. Different frame. Their earlier coverage reads as institutional, court-adjacent language. No live stream color. Less drama, more structure. They reportedly framed the November 2025 dispute weeks before this one and leaned custody plus politics, not entertainment. Take the T accounts, Alaboutha Tia, Rapfins, the Bloggerstia. The frame is structural domestic. Blueface finally reached his breaking point. Turned a restaurant outing into another viral livestream moment. Headlines reportedly borrow Blue's own language and treat it as fact. And the implicit fourth lane, the clan account clip angle, would reportedly already be running on the Shade Room by now if this were one calendar cycle later. For now it's reportedly sidelined because custody threads don't pop on TSR until one of the moms posts receipts. Steelman the loudest counter-narrative. The hardline read, he's trash. He abandoned his baby. Chrisean did nothing wrong. That's the read with the loudest share button. It reportedly says Rock is the aggrieved parent. Blue is the algorithm-driven parasite. The stroller outside the restaurant is the moral proof. I get it. I see why. Dismantle it. Pull one thread. Blue's stream reportedly caught him saying, on camera, with his own numbers reportedly in front of him, that her viewership didn't do enough today for you to be popping it. That's reportedly an admission of motive. That is allegedly the most embarrassing line in the entire fade. More embarrassing than the 3 strikes speech because it reportedly tells you the ruler being used. The ruler is reportedly not a moral ruler. It's reportedly a CPM ruler. The kid in the stroller is reportedly not in the math. Where Hot New Hip Hop goes soft, Complex goes institutional, and the T accounts go relationship vlog. The third lane is reportedly this. A content relationship being run like a startup. And the kid is reportedly the only thing not on the spreadsheet. Now zoom out further, because the surface tells are reportedly the cheap tells. The deep tells are allegedly in the timeline architecture. 3 historical reruns are reportedly already documented inside post-release coverage, and every single one reportedly followed the same 6-click formula. Public family outing, Blueface-led production framing, escalated contradiction, live stream dismissal, hotel floor response from Rock framed as prayer or regret, then a substream where each side reportedly remonetizes the breakup. The November 2025 custody flare-up between Jaden Alexis and Rock at the Family Arcade is reportedly the most heavily documented archived version. Complex wrote it up. And in BCK's parenting piece, the recurring reply structure from Rock reportedly appears again. It'd been 2 years, that's my BD and best friend. The DDG homecoming stream reportedly ran half an hour before that arcade clip peaked. The Hot New Hip Hop restaurant recap reportedly landed a year and a half later, and the structure is reportedly still identical. If that is the case, That every collapse repeatedly rhymes. Then the most accurate question is reportedly not, what happened Wednesday at the restaurant, but which segment of the cycle are we in right now? The answer is reportedly segment 4, the syndicated blame pivot segment. That segment is reportedly where one side alleges motive, the other side counter-alleges, and Carlisa, Blue's mom, starts reportedly leaning into podcasts and lunch table interviews, saying exactly the wrong amount in exactly the right tone. Carlisa's role in the cycle is reportedly to act as the tonal anchor of the family side. She's reportedly not a content creator. She's reportedly a structural participant with a long memory and a medium-sized interview cadence. Every prior collapse reportedly had a Carlisa beat in it. Every single one. Stack the prior substreams for a second. The DDG apology rollout reportedly big banged the release window in November 2025. Blueface thanked the victim, reportedly credited prison classes, reportedly told DDG he was eating till I throw up on mashed potatoes and oatmeal. The BCK parenting recap reportedly landed 3 days later, framing Chrisean as the post-release peace signaler. The arcade flare-up with Jaden Alexis reportedly peaked around the same time, with Jaden reportedly saying Rock was envious and shouldn't be around her children without her consent. Then the Las Vegas Strip lifted its standing ban against Blueface reportedly sometime in October 2025, allegedly for work purposes, meaning his professional access returned right as his family court exposure expanded. That's reportedly not coincidence. That's restructuring. What I'm telling you is reportedly this. Every cycle of reunion, escalation, dismissal, hotel prayer, substream split, eventual repatch has reportedly left a fingerprint. And reportedly the fingerprints are stacking into a signature. Now to the angle the press won't print. Blueface just publicly described his relationship with the mother of his child in the language of a vendor scorecard. Customer service. 3 strikes. You didn't do enough viewership. That isn't a breakup that escalated. That is reportedly a livestream operator rotating a co-host off the show because her numbers allegedly underperformed the budget line for the day. Mainstream read, quick. Boy meets girl. Boy gets angry at restaurant. Boy leaves girl at restaurant with the baby. The pivot. Freshly minted phrase. Never used on this channel before. This was less a breakup than a quarterly review. Bold claim. The entire afternoon was reportedly structured as content production. The Dodgers tickets were content. The Brewers baseball was content. The stroller was content. The dinner was content. The camera at the table was content. The breakup was content. The breakdown itself, Rock stroller on the curb at 11 p.m., reportedly became, minutes later, recycled content for both of their separate channels. Reportedly, there is no portion of this day that was not, at some layer, an asset. Even the prayer Rock reportedly read out from the hotel room afterward. That reportedly became a clip. Fresh defense. The 3 strikes speech wasn't improvised. Blueface reportedly had a framework ready. He reportedly had a punchline ready. He reportedly had a dismissal ready. You're dismissed. That's reportedly not a man who lost his temper in the moment. That's reportedly a man who had been tabulating and presented a scorecard when his camera was rolling. Reportedly, the fact that the conclusion was read live on stream to a chat whooping in the background is the structural tell. Blueface's whole point for years has reportedly been that the algorithm is the boss. The algorithm is bigger than the program. Wednesday night he just said, allegedly out loud, that the algorithm is bigger than the relationship. Stay with me a second. Let's press the financial component of the cycle because it reportedly grounds everything that just happened. Background. Blueface is reportedly a kick streamer at this moment, with at least some residual Twitch footprint, and he reportedly co-runs or sponsors the storefront Blues Fish and Soul with Nevea Akira, reportedly sitting in the corner of the receipts. Kick has a subscription economy that's reportedly been criticized as low rigorous on payout minimums, but reportedly offers the kind of creator-friendly splits that draw high-volume audiences looking for sub-tiers, gifted subs, and CPM-friendly single-stream weights. A single outdoor unit shot. Dodgers tickets, restaurant, valet pickup, SUV departure, reportedly has shape. It gives him multi-vertical content. It gives him a substream pivot for Rock, and reportedly the calculated chat length lift he allegedly boasts about reportedly translates, at industry conventional read rates, into materially higher daily revenue than a Tuesday in the studio. This isn't gossip. This is reportedly how the math runs on every creator with this footprint. Hot New Hip Hop's own recap names the cycle behavior. Fans wouldn't be surprised if they pop out tonight like nothing happened. That line is reportedly what every brand manager on the timeline already knows. The cycle is reportedly the product. What this means for Wednesday is reportedly this. The day was reportedly engineered to peak on stream. From the moment Rock's plane reportedly landed at LAX, the arc was reportedly optimized for content. Reportedly, any contradiction in the middle of the day was reportedly going to become a beat. And reportedly, every single beat reportedly had a clip ceiling on it. When Blueface allegedly said on stream that we ain't had 12K people in the chat one time today until you left, he was reportedly announcing the readout, the bracket, on the engine room readouts of the day. Reportedly, his chat up until her dismissal was reportedly the underperformance. Reportedly, her dismissal was reportedly the catalyst. Reportedly, the chat surge was reportedly the structural spike. Reportedly, that's the metric. Allegedly, the only one that mattered. Jabs at the opposition, varied tone. The customer service read is reportedly ridiculous, and everybody in chat reportedly knows it. You don't give your child's mother a vendor scorecard over a pause song. That's reportedly not a stance. That's reportedly a tantrum with a stopwatch. For Blue's defenders, yes, sure. He reportedly didn't physically drag her out. Sure, he's reportedly just keeping his peace. Sure, reportedly doesn't change the spreadsheet moment. For Rock's defenders, reportedly reaching for his rig after he said cut the stream was boneheaded. 2 wrongs in a sold-out parking lot reportedly don't add up to a right. For the quiet third lane, if Blue had actually wanted custody, reportedly this is the morning he lost it. He reportedly posted the restaurant receipts. He reportedly posted the kid outside the restaurant in the stroller. He reportedly called his son's mother a name on stream. That's reportedly not how a custody file survives. That's reportedly how a custody file evaporates. For the absurdists, reportedly, we ain't had 12K people in the chat one time today until you left. You can reportedly read that line either as a bar about Rock or as a bar about himself. Either way, the chat was reportedly watching the breakup live, and either way the kid was reportedly in the stroller. Now listen, there are at least 3 competing courtroom logics reportedly tracking the same calendar right now, and they're reportedly all butting up against each other. First logic, Jaden Alexis's custody lane. She is reportedly mother to Blueface's 2 older children. Post-release complex coverage reportedly shows Jaden publicly challenging Rock's access to her kids and reportedly framing Rock as envious and incompetent in an ex-post. The November arcade incident reportedly created the first publicly visible flare of that custody lane. Second logic, Chrisean Rock's custody lane. Chrisean Jr. is reportedly the toddler in the Wednesday stroller. BCK's parenting recap reportedly quotes Rock on her maturity frame with Blueface. Do we regulate who I mess with? No. Do I regulate who we mess with? No. This probably the most mature we've been with one another. On paper that reportedly reads as a co-parenting pact. In practice, reportedly every claim of post-release stability has reportedly been followed by an escalation clip within a 4 to 6 week window. Third logic, Nevaeh Akira's custody lane. Reportedly pregnant. Reportedly a Blues fish and soul adjacent figure. Reportedly not yet a publicly documented court mover, but reportedly a permanent side channel. WAC 100 has reportedly been the loudest voice in the third-party custody lane from his clubhouse rooms, reportedly framing Blue's 3 co-parents as a structural problem Blue hasn't solved. What's reportedly happening is that all 3 custody lanes are concurrently running parallel narratives, none of them reportedly confirmed by court filings we can pull, but all of them reportedly mobilizable inside 24 to 48 hours of a custody motion. Reportedly, the WAC 100 clubhouse room is reportedly functioning as the unofficial trailing indicator of custody filings. WAC 100 reportedly speaks first, the court reportedly acts later. We should reportedly treat any WAC 100 escalation on this Wednesday incident as a leading indicator, not as a quote. There's one more thread I want to pull before we get to the predictions, because it reportedly explains why this cycle rhymes every single time. The post-release portfolio. When Blueface walked out of California State Prison on November 3, 2025, he reportedly had a debt overhang. Complex reports of $13 million damages order against him in connection with the 2022 Las Vegas incident, plus the suspended 2 to 5 year prison sentence that reportedly activates on probation violation. The Las Vegas Strip reportedly lifted its standing ban on him reportedly sometime in October 2025, allegedly for work visits. That doesn't dissolve a $13 million ledger. It reportedly opens a lane for him to monetize the same corridor that allegedly locked him out. Whatever he allegedly produces now allegedly has to clear overhead, has to clear probation risk, has to clear a custody backdrop, and has to clear 3 concurrent co-parent channels. In other words, allegedly every clip cycle is allegedly a debt reduction cycle. Allegedly the cycle's tempo has reportedly tightened, as the debt reportedly stays the same. Linger line. A father didn't leave a restaurant. A vendor ended a service contract. The kid was in the stroller the whole time. Pure future tense. No recaps. 3 directions, and you won't see them labeled. The most likely landing. Over the next 30 days. Expect the reunion clip. Watch how his kick reportedly refollows her account, or her Instagram reportedly pops up in his story. That cycle has allegedly played at least 4 public times. The apology. The toddler reunion. The arcade trip. The sidewalk dump. Don't be shocked when, reportedly by mid-September, a new restaurant clip drops with the camera angle reportedly reversed. Carlisa, Blue's mom, has reportedly been the structural noise in this for years, and likely reportedly continues to be the pressure to repatch. The flip table path. Once X starts, the angle reportedly flips. By the next time Rock reportedly pops up on a substream, almost certainly within 5 days from the original clip, she's reportedly the survivor archetype. Watch how the Shade Room reportedly rolls the Jaden Alexis custody stories and the Whack 100 Clubhouse clip back-to-back with the restaurant clip. The triangle is reportedly about to go fully triangulated. Sun in the stroller footage from the curb will reportedly become the squad's cynical cudgel. The cultural residue path. 5 years from now, this exact format, couple as content, kid as parole, restaurant as pay-per-view, reportedly gets folded into a permanent archetype. Reportedly the phrase customer service, in a romantic context, allegedly enters the lexicon the way situationship did. The stroller on the curb reportedly becomes a meme template. That kid, who reportedly has no say in any of this, at some point reportedly Googles his own first year on the internet. Expect a generational reflection piece, allegedly, in a culture desk somewhere. That is reportedly the cultural residue. The stroller is reportedly the receipts. The mid-cycle risk. If either parent reportedly files a custody motion before September, the public read reportedly shifts inside a week. And quarterly review reportedly becomes the kind of line lawyers quote back. Watch for Whack 100's next clubhouse room on the topic. That's reportedly usually the leading indicator that filings are getting drafted, not just rhubarb ed. And then there is the long-tail risk I'm watching and nobody is publicly pointing at yet. If Blueface post-release run fails to materially re-architect his debt overhang in the next 5 months, some of the custody math reportedly calibrates differently. A 9-month post-release window in a bankruptcy significant damages case is reportedly the period where restructured deals, settlement conversations, and tax resolve payment plans allegedly get papered. Allegedly, if those papers land, the public posture around Blue allegedly tightens up. Allegedly, if those papers don't land, the next custody motion has reportedly more weight and reportedly less upside for Blue's public posture. Reportedly, neither side wins. Reportedly, the kid catches the loss. There's reportedly one more pattern I haven't pressed yet, and this is the single most dangerous one we walk out with. Reportedly, the stroller itself is reportedly the unit of inventory the entire cycle trades on. The toddler cannot consent to his presence in live streams. Every clip reportedly citing Chrisean Jr. in caption is reportedly a clip that monetizes the image of a child reportedly too young to object. Reportedly, the legal architecture around minors in monetized livestream culture is reportedly underdeveloped, reportedly varies state to state, and reportedly allows this kind of footage for now. Reportedly, that's the cultural residue line, expanded, and reportedly that's the line a culture desk reportedly returns to in 5 years. The kid in the stroller on Wednesday night reportedly did not pick the restaurant, did not pick the camera, did not pick the channel, did not pick the algorithm, did not pick the season. He reportedly got the sidewalk at 11 p.m. on a Wednesday and reportedly got a prayer and a clip in the next 24 hours. This is reportedly what monetization looks like at the bottom of the ladder. This is reportedly what content relationship looks like when it runs out of runway. This is reportedly what the cycle actually is. A vendor said customer service to the mother of his child on a stream and reportedly took the win. Now the question that allegedly sits underneath every receipt here is reportedly this. Is allegedly the cycle the artifact? Or is allegedly the cycle the system? Reportedly a system stops reporting when it's exposed. Reportedly an artifact dies after one run. This reportedly has been running since at least 2020. Reportedly it's a system. That's the read. Subscribe. Hit that bell. The next one is already loading. Drop your take in the comments. Fight me if I'm wrong on the algorithm read. Defend me if I'm not. Go run it back with somebody who needs to hear what a stroller on a curb at 11 p.m. is reportedly actually worth in 2026. We're going.